Welcome everybody to a Pro Dota commentary brought to you by Chales. Today's game will be FY versus Bands. FY hailing from Germany, Bands hailing from Serbia. There's already been a few Bands here, no pun intended, as FY has chosen the Prophet and the Invoker. We'll start out with the Prophet. Prophet is an extremely strong hero. The global ulti, being able to move around and turn any one-on-one into a 2v1, so on and so forth, as well as being able to turn into a great pusher if need be with those treants and his ulti. Invoker, very good laning hero, really strong in team fights, has 10 skills, so that's something. Broodmother, a very strong hero, very good laning hero. Broodmother gives you the ability to go 4 heroes and leave her by herself in her own lane, and being able to push just as fast as your 4 heroes or as fast as their 5 heroes, with those spiderlings, as well as being able to farm up those neutrals. Ancient Apparition, Shadow Demon, and Windrunner coming out as Bands for Bands. Sorry, I just had to say that again. The Ancient Apparition's global ultimate, as well as Cold Feet, extremely strong skills. Cold Feet has that really long stun on the back end of it, paired with another solid stun. We then see the Shadow Demon and Windrunner. Windrunner is usually not banned, more often picked, as there are other stronger heroes like, say, the Bat Rider, say the Lich. Although Bat Rider not really being picked up yet, we will see about that. Bat Rider has sort of been falling out of favor. I don't really understand why. I still believe that he is the strongest laning hero in all of Dota, with Napalm and Firefly, as well as being able to take out whatever BKB that the opposing team might have. The first 2 picks coming out from FY are the Lich and the Tidehunter. Really good support heroes, really good utility picks. It really doesn't give away your strategy or what you're doing. On the other hand, we see Bands picking a Night Stalker, which is almost saying, we're going to gank you. We're going to gank you hard, early mid-game, especially at night, as he is the Night Stalker. Then we see a Crystal Maiden pick coming out. Crystal Maiden is a amazing support hero. The tide's sort of been changing, where previously Crystal Maiden has gone almost exclusively not maxing out her aura, but getting very close to maxing out her aura instead of picking her Frost Nova and or Frostbite. However, recently, due to the current metagame, they've wanted her to be a little bit more offensive, therefore grabbing a few levels of Nova and a few levels of Bite, and maybe only grabbing 1 level of that aura, turning her into a much more of offensive nuker, which I really believe is the right idea. As early game, those before you even hit level 6, I believe she's the strongest, if not top 5 strongest early game nukers in the game, without a doubt. We see a Weaver pick coming out from Bands. Weaver's a strong hero. Weaver requires farm. Usually he picks up a Radiance. Some people deciding to go for Lincolns. Lincolns I really don't think is the way to go anymore, as it's just such an expensive item. Somewhere it's like around 5k, I'm pretty certain. And the stat gain isn't very great. The regen isn't too, doesn't do you too much, as well as just being able to block 1 single target, as majority of teams will buy an urn and or a medallion to be able to just kind of counteract that and take that away. Immediately following up the pick from FY is the Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage is a carry that I enjoy, especially against the Weaver. I really feel like it's not a hard counter, but is somewhat of a counter, as you're able to steal all that, all the mana from Weaver and disable her from time lapsing, and or just being able to constantly scooch you away, come back in, scooch you away, come back in, as he will only have maybe 1 or 2 scoochies left after Anti-Mage is done hitting her down, especially when Anti-Mage picks up that Manta style, and having 3 Anti-Mages just knocking on Weaver like that drops all her mana down to 0 almost immediately. An Earthshaker ban coming out from Bands. Earthshaker is a very good support hero. That long-range fissure is an extremely good skill utilized by many teams. Being able to block off the heroes from supporting whoever you're going after is extremely strong, as well as once he gets up a blink tagger and is able to position himself well for strong ultis, the ulti can be very devastating. an Omni Knight ban coming out from FY. Omni Knight is, as soon as he's been coming in, as soon as he came into favor through the two professional teams, he's almost been falling out just as quickly. We do see a ban here. However, some teams have been sort of falling away from picking it. I believe for like a month, maybe a month and a half, it was just solid picked every single game by by at least one team. And I believe that it was because people didn't really know how to handle him yet. People weren't really sure how to counter him. And that is becoming a little bit more, known. He's pretty farm dependent, as if he can't stay in battle, he won't be able to, heal your heroes, as he has sort of gotten the start of targeting first, as well as people going early Diffusal Blade just to knock out that repel, as it is such a damaging spell. A Batrider ban coming out from FY, and I'm really surprised Batrider wasn't picked up in those first couple picks. I really feel like instead of that Night Stalker pick, they should have went with that Batrider and sold it in mid and just dominated whoever was there. However, they seem to have a strategy and plan or know what they're doing. As we see a Doombringer ban coming out from bans. Doombringer really isn't generally a ban. Maybe they have a hero that they are going to pick up that they don't really want to get doomed. Again, no pun intended. Just, yeah, I'm not really sure. I believe, I'm not really sure that FY was going to be going for a Doom pick, as they still are looking for a solo mid, as usually Lich is not in a solo lane anymore. Lich has been falling into more of that support role. 15 seconds left on the pick coming from Bans, so Bans will be picking very soon. We will see. They really have no AoE, and they go for an Ogre pick. An Ogre pick is a little interesting. Ogre, to me, is not something that I'm too fond of, just because of his main skill and his main attribute is luck. You need a lot of multicasts to make him really worthwhile, and if you don't get those multicasts, it really doesn't do much. Bloodlust is a very good skill. In my opinion, it will really ramp up that Night Stalker's activeness in team battles as well as attack speed, coupled in with that, I forget what his night skill is called, that gives him extra powers at night. However, coupled with his buffs that he gets at night,